Well, as you can see, my New Year's diet's going great. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back. So today I thought I would make an attempt at Claire Saffitz's Eclair recipe that she posted to her channel a few weeks ago. And, you know, maybe we talk about some resolution stuff, whether or not we do them. But anyway, let's get started on first the pastry cream, because it has to be cooked and then chilled, and yeah. So I have all the ingredients I need here. Half a teaspoon of diamond crystal kosher salt, 2 cups of whole milk, half of vanilla pod. I have 30 grams of cornstarch, 5 egg yolks, and 100 grams of sugar. So I'm going to add the milk. Then I'm going to add the vanilla bean and the pod. And then I'm going to place this over medium-low heat. And then I'm just going to let this come to a simmer. So in the meantime, I'm going to add my egg yolks, sugar, and cornstarch all to a bowl. And then I'm going to whisk this all together, and you're going to notice at first it sort of clumps up and doesn't look like it's going to form anything. But as you keep whisking it and whisking it hard, it'll all form this very silky mass that should flow. So what you can see is that it's now formed a flowing consistency, and it's slightly paler in color. So this is ready to be used in the pastry cream. So now that my milk, vanilla, salt mixture is nice and hot, I'm going to temper the egg mixture by pouring just a little bit of, actually maybe about half of this milk mixture into the eggs and whisking as I do. And this will gradually bring up the temperature of the eggs so that whenever I add them to the milk back into the saucepan, they're not going to just completely curdle and scramble. So now I'm going to add these all back, whisking constantly as I do. And now I just keep whisking this until it reaches the consistency that I want, which is like thick paste, mashed potato-y. Maybe not quite mashed potatoes, but a loose mashed potato. So now we've reached the stage where we can see boiling, so I'm going to pull this off the heat. And I'm going to strain this mixture into a bowl. So to this mixture, I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of cold unsalted butter, and I'm going to whisk it in one piece at a time until fully incorporated. So how are y'all doing? It's the new year. Everyone's trying to make resolutions and, you know, change themselves and all that stuff. Do you guys do that? I don't really have any New Year's resolutions. I don't think I honestly ever have. It is a nice feeling, you know, to have that like reset button and stuff at the beginning of the year, and, you know, forgetting to write the date correctly for like 3 months, you know. It's a whole process, I get it. I don't know, I feel like progress is something that should be gradual and slow and steady. Me and, you know, millions of other people have been reading the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. I think it was the #1 most sold book on Amazon last year. So yeah, I really like the book. I think it highlights a lot of the ways that I generally think about progress and forming good habits and, you know, doing all this you know, self-improvement stuff. And I think one sort of big thing that I take away from it is I used to be this person that felt like change had to happen immediately, like all at once. You had to just be better, and you should have the mental willpower, you know, to do it right away. Obviously, that's not sustainable, and cold turkeying everything is not a way to be successful. You know, what I really like about the book is that it, you know, highlights just the flaws that are inherent to humans, and that we're fickle and we don't like to make sudden changes. You know, I think the book cites that 40 to 50% of our daily routines are habitually done. And so a lot of this is getting under the skin and you know, not just making conscious decisions, but trying to get your subconscious to make decisions. And I think a big way to do that is to just go slowly and realize the points in your days and in your lives that you can make a choice, a good or a bad choice, or a neutral choice. For example, every day I try to wake up and go for a run. And that's sort of a decisive point in my day where I say, all right, if I can go for a run, then I'll feel good for the rest of the day. And so doing things that promote me going for a run, for example, setting out my workout clothes, you know, getting my socks lined up, having my tennis shoes ready for me by the bed, all of those things facilitate me going for a run in the morning. And whenever I go for a run, I feel great. And then bam, you know, my day started good. I made a good choice at the beginning of the day. And then, you know, it's recognizing all those points in your day that you have choices as well. And for me, you know, I'm really also a big proponent of what the book suggests, in that we have to change how we think of ourselves and our identities, you know, in order to progress ourselves into that new identity, right? A lot of people say, oh, I want to, you know, I have this goal of practicing, you know, 2 hours a day on piano, whatever. But the goal should be, no, I want to be a musician. And so any given day, any given moment, what is something that a musician would do? And so that's also how I've been looking at things, you know, in the past few months, you know, especially reading this book, and trying to reframe my life. Like, who do I think I am? I want to be a good cook. That's why I want to, you know, do these things that I do on YouTube. And I want to be a good baker. I want to be a great scientist, you know, in my lab. And I want to be a good musician. I want to be these things, you know, I want to embody these things. And so I ask myself every day, you know, what would somebody who wants to do those things or be these things do? Good scientist means reading, staying up with the literature, you know, doing good experimental work, having, you know, curiosity for the science world, trying to understand things that are difficult. And so, you know, those are things that I try to do daily. And so, yeah, that's my little rant. I don't know, hopefully someone could get something out of it. But anyway, back to the cooking content, and I'm excited to, yeah, show you guys more of what I have to offer. So, back to cooking. So here I have everything that I need for the pâte à choux. I have a cup of flour, 6 eggs, half a cup of whole milk, some sugar, salt, and some butter. And all of this is going to be going into my saucepan over there. So in the sauce pot, we're going to melt down the butter, the milk, the sugar, and the salt. And we just want this to reach a slight simmer. So our mixture has now reached a simmer. So I'm going to add all the flour at one time and then immediately start beating it with the wooden paddle. Take your time. This could take up to 3 to 5 minutes or so. So really take your time with this. You really want to get as much moisture off as you can. Now that I'm satisfied with this, I'm going to take it and put it in the bowl of a stand mixer. And just to expedite the cooling process, I'm going to beat this a little bit to release the steam. So now I'm going to one by one start adding the eggs. And we're going for a very particular consistency here. So I have 6 eggs in total, but I might not need to add all of them. We'll just have to keep checking as it goes on. So. Now that the 5th egg has been incorporated, I actually want to check the consistency of the choux dough now. So what we see here is a pretty I guess, firm dough, but we can see this V shape that falls off the end of it, and that's one way of knowing that your dough is ready, is if as these globules fall off, you still have that V shape. So I actually think we don't need the 6th egg, and we're ready to move on to the next steps. So I'm gonna take this dough and I'm gonna put it into a piping bag to start. So we just take a fork and run it down the length of the eclair. What I'm going to do is flip them and poke 2 holes in the bottom and then leave them upside down to steam out. And this will just let any trapped steam escape so that they don't deflate. So what I'm gonna do now is fill these with my pastry cream mixture. The last thing that we have to do is make a chocolate glaze. And so for that, we will need some sugar, some heavy cream, a pinch of kosher salt, approximately a tablespoon of corn syrup, and 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And we're just going to bring this up on the heat. So this butter, cream, sugar mixture has started to bubble slightly. So I'm going to take it off the heat. And then I'm going to add 6 ounces of chocolate to this. I'm just going to give this a little mix, and then I'm actually going to let it just sit here and melt the chocolate for a little bit before I actually start mixing it up myself. Now I'll start mixing in the chocolate, starting from the center. So now we have a beautiful, luscious, glossy chocolate sauce ready to top the eclairs. Now I'm going to dip the eclairs into the chocolate. Okay, wow, long day of eclair making done, but we are finally done, and we can do a taste test of them, so I am very excited. Let's give one a try. Oh my god. That pastry cream filling is such a win. Oh my god. And it goes so well with the chocolate. It's like not fully milk chocolate, it's like semi-sweet, so not too sweet on the top. And the choux bun as well, it's like perfectly done. It's so messy, but my god, it's worth it. Anyway guys, I'm gonna plate these up. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I need to eat dinner. But thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to make more videos on everything from grad student life, cooking videos, maybe pull in some of my other hobbies as well. I don't know, I'm just having fun here. I'll see you in the next one. Happy New Year. See you later.